dark stats and facts, the hidden hunger paradox. Every day, humanity produces enough food to feed 10 billion people, yet 735 million go to bed hungry. We grow enough grain to eliminate malnutrition globally, enough fruits and vegetables to give everyone proper nutrition, enough protein to sustain every human on Earth. So why do people starve? The answer lies in a shadow economy of waste so massive it has become one of the planet's largest sources of greenhouse gas emissions. While families ration rice in some countries, others throw away enough food to feed entire nations. The waste happens at every level: farms, factories, restaurants, and in the homes of people who consider themselves environmentally conscious. This isn't just about leftovers getting moldy in refrigerators. We're talking about a systematic global failure so profound that our food waste alone generates more climate pollution than most countries' entire economies. Today, we're exploring 3 shocking truths about humanity's most wasteful habit: how our discarded meals are cooking the planet, why abundance has made us blind to scarcity, and the hidden psychology that makes even hungry people throw away perfectly good food. Fact 1. The climate criminal in your kitchen. Maria throws away half a sandwich because she ordered too much lunch. She feels a twinge of guilt. Her mother always told her to finish her plate. But she has no idea that her leftover sandwich just contributed to a climate disaster larger than the carbon footprint of entire nations. When food rots in landfills, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. That half sandwich doesn't just disappear harmlessly. It joins billions of tons of organic waste fermenting in oxygen-free environments, belching invisible clouds of planet-warming gases into the atmosphere. The scale defies comprehension. If global food waste were a country, it would rank as the 3rd largest emitter of greenhouse gases after China and the United States. Every discarded apple, every expired yogurt, every restaurant portion scraped into garbage bins is contributing to rising sea levels, extreme weather, and climate refugees. Here's what makes this particularly tragic. The food we waste could solve hunger while simultaneously fighting climate change. Instead, we've created a system where our abundance literally destroys the planet's capacity to feed future generations. We're not just wasting calories, we're wasting the water, energy, fertilizer, and land used to produce food that never nourishes anyone. The carbon footprint includes every step: tractors burning diesel to plant crops, factories processing ingredients, trucks transporting products, stores refrigerating inventory, and finally, methane emissions when it all rots. Food waste represents the most environmentally destructive form of consumption because it captures the environmental cost of production while providing zero benefit. According to the UNEP Food Waste Index report, estimates suggest that 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions are associated with food that is not consumed. Fact 2. The abundance blindness effect. In wealthy neighborhoods across the globe, supermarkets throw away thousands of tons of perfectly edible food daily. Bread that's one day past its best buy date, fruits with cosmetic blemishes, vegetables that don't meet arbitrary size standards, dairy products approaching expiration dates that indicate peak quality, not safety. This systematic waste happens because abundance has made us forget what scarcity looks like. In societies where food is cheap and constantly available, we've developed psychological blind spots around waste that would have horrified our ancestors. The fear of eating imperfect food has replaced the fear of having no food at all. Consumer behavior reflects this abundance blindness in disturbing ways. Studies show that people waste more food when they feel financially secure, as if prosperity creates a moral license to be wasteful. Families throw away groceries worth hundreds of dollars annually while considering themselves responsible consumers because they buy organic or local products. The psychology runs deeper than individual choices. Retail systems are designed around the assumption that waste is acceptable if it maintains the illusion of endless abundance. Grocery stores know that fully stocked shelves increase sales, even if it means throwing away the surplus. Restaurants serve portion sizes that no human can finish because large portions signal value regardless of what gets discarded. This creates a feedback loop where waste becomes invisible. In societies where garbage trucks come regularly and food is always available, people lose connection to the true cost of what they discard. The waste happens out of sight in dumpsters, landfills, and processing facilities, so it feels consequence-free. Meanwhile, in regions where food scarcity is real, people have maintained psychological connections to food's true value. They waste dramatically less not just because they can't afford to, but because their relationship with food hasn't been distorted by artificial abundance. The global average person wastes 74 kilograms of food annually, with higher income countries showing significantly higher waste rates per capita. Fact 3. The paradox of hungry waste. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of global food waste is that it happens even in households experiencing food insecurity. Families who sometimes skip meals still throw away groceries. People who worry about affording food still let produce rot in their refrigerators. This isn't hypocrisy. It's evidence of how profoundly modern food systems have disconnected us from rational behavior. Part of the problem is how we've structured food access. In many places, the cheapest foods are highly processed items with long shelf lives, while fresh, perishable foods cost more but spoil quickly. Low-income families often face a cruel choice: buy expensive fresh food that might go bad before they can eat it, or buy processed food that provides calories but poor nutrition. The psychology of scarcity also creates counterintuitive waste patterns. When people have limited money for food, they sometimes overbuy during periods when they have cash, leading to spoilage. The stress of food insecurity can impair decision-making, making it harder to plan meals effectively or use ingredients efficiently. Cultural factors compound the problem. In societies where social status is tied to providing abundant food, people may cook more than needed for guests or family meals, even when resources are limited. The shame of appearing unable to provide enough food can drive waste behaviors that seem economically irrational. Food assistance programs sometimes contribute to waste by providing more food than recipients can reasonably consume, or foods that don't match their cooking facilities, cultural preferences, or storage capacity. Well-intentioned policies can create situations where people receiving food aid still end up throwing food away. This reveals the deeper failure of our global food system. We've made waste inevitable regardless of individual circumstances or intentions. From overproduction to poor distribution to consumer psychology shaped by abundance marketing, the system generates waste at every level. Research indicates that even in food-insecure households, significant amounts of edible food are discarded due to storage limitations, cooking constraints, and food safety misunderstandings. We've built a food system that feeds waste instead of people. While 735 million humans experience chronic hunger, we casually discard enough food to feed 3 billion. Our abundance has blinded us to scarcity. Our convenience has disconnected us from consequence, and our waste has become a major driver of the climate crisis that threatens our ability to grow food in the future. The mathematics are simple and devastating. We produce enough food for everyone, waste enough to feed billions, and somehow maintain a world where nearly 1 billion people don't have enough to eat. This isn't a problem of production capacity or distribution technology. It's a failure of values, systems, and consciousness. The food in our trash bins today was grown on land that could have fed hungry families, watered with resources that are becoming scarcer, and produced with carbon emissions that are warming the planet. Every discarded meal represents a small crime against both human need and environmental sustainability. Stay curious, but safe,